Um, the brother I'm talking to, the brother I'm talking to today is one of my heroes, one of my role models. He's the godfather of this thing I do. Everything I do is related to hip hop somehow, and he's the same. He's a Johannesburg pioneer of hip hop. He keeps it alive. I would call him the oxygen of hip hop in South Africa. You see this award here? He's on a committee that does the South African Hip Hop Awards. He's on Metro FM on a show that promotes hip hop. He is hip hop, you know. And he's got a podcast currently, which I was listening to, the masterclass podcast about hip hop again. And I'm very thankful that he's agreed to talk to me. I met him through my brother Styles, and they were rapping together. They had a group and some hits together. So this is Rashid. Thank you, brother, for joining us. How are you?
I'm okay, brother. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for agreeing, man. Just tell us what you do and just what you want to promote, what you're into. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. I couldn't, so I couldn't finish.
Okay, you mentioned some of the things like Metro FM, SA Hip Hop Awards, Back to the City, also One Mic on SABC One, and yeah, and I have this podcast called the Masterclass Podcast, available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. You know, it's about hip hop, and I have these events that I host every Sunday called the Masterclass Hip Hop Sundays. You know, they happen every week, every Sunday.
Lovely.
I just bring different cats together. You know, they are themed differently. I'd have cats from Durban, and call it Durban Poison. I'd have cat from Mouthtown, call it Mutswako. You know, I always have different cats from all over the country to come through and rap.
Dope, man. And then you forgot to say you're one of the dopest lyricists. You're an MC as well. Don't forget that one.
I'm an MC, man. Yeah. Rashid, check me out on Spotify for my albums, on iTunes, on all digital platforms. So yeah. So I'm out there doing things.
Dope, man. Okay, one of the first questions I normally ask is, what are your challenges that you go through due to the opposite gender? I like to ask women this because, you know, they have a lot to say about us, but I also want to be fair. So I ask men as well. What challenges do women go through, put you through?
Funny enough, the episode of the podcast that we dropped today, we were talking about female rappers in the industry.
Right.
You know, yeah. So should I talk about women in general or women in the industry within hip hop?
All of it. You can take it in categories. Just go for it.
I think most of the time women need assistance from us guys who have naturally they don't have the hustle muscle or the hustle power that we have. You know, by nature we grew up in the street when they were supposed to be in the house cleaning and cooking. We were allowed to go until late without being asked questions. So it starts there. So by the time we get into the industry, we have made a lot of connections in the streets, you know, and that's when we supposed to lend a helping hand to our sisters without even taking advantage. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of dirty people in the industry who will be couch casting our sisters, you know. Yeah.
I feel you.
So I've worked with a lot of females, be it because I was producing She's Live. Most of the presenters were females, you know. So I've worked with a lot of females in the industry, rappers.
I lost you a little bit.
Sorry, there was an incoming call.
All
you
right.
know, so I'm saying I discovered and put on people in the industry, people like Gigi Lemaine, Chesley Hippie. There's a lot of ladies I've worked with, you know, and they went far with their careers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they really do need that. They might be smarter than us, you know, in class or wherever. But when it comes to being street smart, because the industry is about being street smart.
Real talk.
You know, these things of cold drinks and payolas and brown envelopes, we started by males, you know, who were trying to get ahead by street smart. I can't imagine ladies going through that. That's why they become victims of sexual favors, you know, and all those things need to stop because they don't know any other means of hustling.
I hear that. So you find that a lot of them really need to have their hand held, and
yes,
it's up to us to be responsible and sensitive to
it. Until they have feet on the ground.
Okay,
you know, because people take advantage of them in the industry, whatever industry it is, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever industry it is, it's mainly run by males.
No, I spoke about that with Mother one time. We're just talking about boss ladies. How, because I have had issues working for women, like in the corporate world or something. And he was just saying that maybe the challenge with women, because of the oppression against women, a lot of them either will become really aggressive or really sexual. And it was very interesting when I just thought of hip hop. You remember in the 90s, the girls were tomboys, was tough guys, like tough girls, like Queen Latifah. Girls were intimidating. And then after Lil Kim and Foxy, they became more sexual. So it's always been these extremes of
because it was I've noticed that back then, to be accepted as a female rapper, you need to sound and look like niggas, or you need to sound sex. There was nothing in between. There were no like your girl next door average women. You know.
And the closest it came to, I think, was Eve. Eve was the closest, even though she moved to DMX and the Rough Riders, but she was like kind of like a lady. But
you know what I mean. So
I get you.
But all of those things have changed now. You know, people are free to express themselves.
I hear that. And there are lots of avenues. So I have this book, right? Woman Love 365, not only on Women's Day. This is what inspired what I'm doing. So with the male-female beef, I want to call it beef, because every time something happens, a woman wants us dead. Every time something makes the headlines, we know there's abuse every day, but there's a tension between men and women. We do nothing as men. What's your contribution? What do you feel are some of the solutions? What do you think maybe, do you feel like men maybe have an issue with women that they can't deal with constructively?
Not necessarily. It is, that thing is not natural. It is systematic. You know, it was designed. It doesn't happen with other races. You know what I'm saying? A Black woman was on the bottom of the food chain, on the bottom of the list. You would have a Black woman right in the bottom, a Black male, a white woman, and then a white male. You know, so Black women have developed this thing of fighting for everything, fighting for themselves. Everything to them is a struggle. You know, they need to fight to be equal at home. They need to fight to be equal at work. They need, like, everything. They need to, that's between Black people. Now again, they need to fight to be equal with white women until the highest level, to be equal with the white male. So it's their struggle is far worse than our struggle as Black men. So, you know, to a point that they see us as enemies, you know. There's an article I read called feminization of a black male. You know what I'm saying? Where the system is trying to strip us powers,
right,
and give those powers to the black woman. Obviously, that will create a conflict. It's all naturally. It's okay if a husband is working and the wife is not working. But if it's the other way around, it creates problems. It creates problems when you, the father of the house, and your kids, every time they need something, they go to the mother.
Right.
You feel like useless. We are providers naturally. You know, when you're stripped of that role, you know, I'm not justifying anything, but I'm saying this thing is systematic. It's deeper than meets the eye. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
that. They destabilize the black family. They destabilize the black family from way back. They started with the gold rush, the mining, where they would take black men to the mines for the whole year. And you see your wife once in December. That's how they destroyed black families.
Right.
You know, they fighting it with alcohol, with diseases, with you know what I'm saying? It's been happening years.
It's been legalized. Yes, because I remember there's migrant labor. Then they made making umboti at the house for your husband. They made that illegal. You had to go to the beer hall and all these different things. You couldn't live together in the same house.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then they created hostels where females were not allowed. You know.
Yeah.
That was another pandemic.
Hey.
You know.
I feel
so we need people like me and you to write books, to produce shows, educating our people about this thing, you know, because we can't be here fighting like like the gender wars. Males are like this, men are trash, women are this and that, are gold diggers, blah blah. No, we were pitted against each other.
Yeah.
All those things are minor things that we can deal with, you know, if we have like discussions like this. You know what I'm saying? Because once we get into a debate, everyone is on a defense mode. You know,
right?
No, but you this and that. You know what I'm saying? We're not coming with a solution. We just debating to win. You know.
Yeah. You remind me of two things.
We should come with solutions.
Yeah, you remind me of two things. As you're speaking, I thought of two things. One was, you know, we had apartheid and all that. And then when apartheid ends, it's like the black man is free now. The black man's already been unable to fully provide for his family. And then once the man is free, now they say there's affirmative action. The woman gets all the jobs first. So as we came out of varsity, the girls were getting all the jobs first. And now the girls, your girlfriend is going to be your boss. I mean, it's happening to all the races, but generally, I thought about that imbalance again, because the woman doesn't appreciate that.
And if you can't provide for your kid, she'll take the kid away.
If she earns more than you.
You know what I'm saying? It happens. Most families are broken. We have single fathers and single mothers because of those issues.
Hectic, man. And I think it's because it's unnatural, again, like you say. So even though we're doing gender equality in terms of affirmative action, even the women reject that. They don't want a man who earns less than them, but practically, it's not likely. If we both get the same degree, get the same job, she's getting promoted.
Yeah.
She doesn't want that, and then you're also uncomfortable. So it's a very complex issue.
It is very complex, you know. So that's why this equality thing, it's everywhere, but not in the nursing industry. Imagine if nurses were males, like they are females now.
I
No,
like
fight
that.
for it. No, this.
Yeah, that's powerful. It's selective.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, the thing, I was disturbed by a phone call.
Okay, understand.
Yeah, like I'm saying, if men are not fighting over the nursing profession to say, no, we want 50-50. It's fine. Fine. You know, let them be majority there. Let us be a majority in the army. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's very practical. Yeah. The second thing you made me think of was when we talked about this gender war, men are trash. When TLC had a song called Scrubs, and then this other group, Sporty Thieves, at a retaliation, Pigeons. And I always remember that two things happened. Shantae Moore had a song called Shantae's Got a Man. She was happy with men. We were thankful for that.
Yeah.
It became number one. It wasn't a special song, but it became number one because it was like, hey, at least. And then Mary J. Blige called for peace. She said we're supposed to heal each other, not fight. We're supposed to heal each other. And I really appreciated that. I remember that very clearly, that Mary J. Blige was a leader in that situation, saying, guys, we've been hurt by the system as Black people. We can't keep attacking each other. Yeah, man. So, okay. And then what do you think both genders would do better to make things, to make the situation better, to make this, because we need cooperation. My big challenge is as Black South Africa, we need to cooperate to make South Africa work. If we're busy fighting amongst each other, we'll lose it again if we haven't lost it already. I mean, I'm not saying we got it back, but we have an opportunity and we keep fighting amongst each other, you know, especially to build Black families and all these different things. What can we do better? What can men do better?
I think whoever has the knowledge, whoever is knowledgeable, charity begins at home. Teach your partner, teach your sister, and let it spread. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad, like a person like you writing books. You know, I hope it sells more and more copies so it reaches more people. You know what I'm saying? So the most important thing is communication, education. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the only debates I participate on are hip hop debates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they not gender specific, and I go in there to educate. By the end of the debate, people were like, "Oh shit, I know that now. I didn't know before." You know what I mean? But in terms of, I see fights on social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, about GBV, men are trash, women are gold diggers, blah blah blah, this, that. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. But I think it's not being addressed properly. You know, nobody's out there teaching our sisters. Nobody's out there teaching our partners. You know, they'd rather say it's your life, it's your choice. You know, it's your body. You can walk around naked. You know, they get all these wrong advices, ill-informed advices, and they take anything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It's tough, and it's also again back to the families, the broken families that, you know, now you're looking for any role model, any person that you think is cool can mislead you because you listen to them.
Yeah, because now we don't even hang out anymore to talk. It's social media. You know, you think you have friends, people you've never met.
Yeah.
You know, and you're taking all these motivational quotes, you know, like, yo, you only live once. Eat your youth. You know, you know, they mislead each other a lot.
True,
you
true.
know, and you can't come there preaching to them, acting like a good Samaritan, because you're gonna be attacked for that. You know, that needs a real platform like this where people can see each other and talk to each other. Either it's discussions like this or meeting in person in real life. You know? Yeah.
I'm trying to work on that. Did you ever see a show called Teen Summit in the 90s? That thing inspired me so much.
Yeah, Teen Summit. Yeah,
Hey,
I know
that show. They'd have talks and then hip hop artists at the end.
Yeah.
Hey, that thing inspired me.
That was dope. Actually, I must bite that idea and bring it here.
Please do.
Show like that.
Please do. I've always, a lot of my shows are like that. You know, as much as possible, some conversation, some hip hop. I've always done that. So sometimes I'll just make it the poetry, but I like the discussions, especially my book launches. But yeah, man, I agree with you, and thanks for that, brother. So now, what I was wishing to do with this hashtag Women Love 365 is make it like one love, to speak life instead of saying stop GBV. And of course, the whole Women's Day or 16 days of activism, making it every day. So I just want to know from you, what comes to mind when I say Women Love 365? What's the message? What comes to mind to you? What concept? What do you feel?
I feel like it's not about the holidays. You must show compassion and appreciation to our sisters, our partners, our mothers, randomly, any day. It doesn't have to, we don't have to be told by the system and say it's Women's Day or it's Mother's Day, remember your mother. No. You know, so it should be anytime, any day. If you're walking in town and you see flowers, grab them for your mom or for your partner. Don't wait for a special occasion.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. My man, there aren't enough words to appreciate you, but I really thank you for all the work you're doing. You know, you're keeping us alive. I write for this newspaper, online newspaper called University World News. And I wrote an article called Hip Hop Was My First Academic Qualification. You see, this thing we do is not just a hobby. It's actually a whole culture, and it is an academic thing. And one day it will be appreciated, but for that to happen, it has to be kept alive. And it's also a means of communication for our people, for us and our people, you know? And I really appreciate what you do, brother. Like, just don't give up. Don't give up, brother. If you want to give up, call me. I'll call you.
I appreciate what you... Relax, boy. Easy now. So, yo, so my woman is working from home, the other room. So this one doesn't want to sleep.
Beautiful, bro. That's Women Love 365.
Hello.
I remember when you were born.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's like that. We need to be the change we want to see. We need to, it needs to start with us. You know, we need to be the living proof.
Yeah. No, thanks, brother. Handle your business with your young king over there, and have a good weekend. Stay blessed, and thank you.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for inviting me. All the best.
All right, one love.